New legendary and mythical Pokemon revealed in
Hello,
Pokemon Cardinal
everyone,
episode
and welcome
20.
to the final episode of Pokemon Cardinal.
Except I'm doing
Last
episode
time,
0.
Professor Tamarack asked us if we could track down the remaining
this is,
Pokemon
chronology-
that we had not
chronology-
seen yet for the purpose of
chronology-
this research.
In
which
order,
we did,
this is the final
exchange
episode.
got
Okay,
to
not
keep
really,
the
because
Thunder
0
Forms
comes up for
for
20,
ourselves.
apparently, but
Additionally, Tamarack
you know what I'm
also
trying to
said
say.
he would share
You get
some
the idea.
top secret information with us for our trouble, which is where we pick up in today's episode.
I have a
So
secret
let's
for you.
listen to
I
Tamarack
love
and find
pineapple
out what this
berries.
secret is.
I think those are the ones that look like bananas. Because Pokemon isn't allowed to have bananas,
about
but they
that
can have
top
berries that
secret
look like bananas.
It's taken me a while, but I have gathered
What is the
conclusive
name?
evidence
I don't
of a
remember.
mythical
There's
Pokemon
so many
within
freaking berries.
Norclo. As far as I'm aware, no one has ever seen this Pokemon face to face, which means I've had the honor of naming it myself.
I'll call it Dave.
Morphator. The reason I was doing research
course he
on
names
this
after
in the first
himself.
place is because I suspected a connection between Morphator and
Wait.
the Life Trio. You do know of the Life Trio, correct? They are a trio
Oh my
of
god, I just
legendary
imagined if there was an
Pokemon that are
anime
seemingly
on
connected
Pokemon
to the
Cardinal.
concept of life
Imagine
itself.
if before we
Although
meet the
little more is known
Pokemon,
about them
it doesn't
currently.
say its
I
name
believe
until the
Morphator is
professor
what you might
names
call
it,
a
into which it's
trio
called.
master of
To
the
which
Life
it
Trio,
then
and
says
only
its
seems to be willing
name.
to show itself
And then
when
it can
all three
finally
members of
say,
the Life
so
Trio
we
are
name it
together in one
first.
location. Now, I wasn't exactly planning on asking you to do this, but seeing as how you
I'm gonna
rambled
find out
up
that's not the
those
professor's
Thunder
name,
Forms
and
so
he said it
quickly,
first, so
I
it's
suppose
like,
worth
free.
a shot.
I should've gone
Would
back
you
and
be
checked.
willing to try and track down and catch all three members of the Life Trio so that we may actually get a chance to see Morphator for ourselves?
No! End of game. Well, we saw all of them in
Wonderful!
our playthrough,
Simply
so.
wonderful. I knew I could depend on Norclo's newest champion. To get you started, I'll let you in on where you can find each member of the Life
Think
Trio.
about it. If there was
They are
two
known
versions
to
of
inhabit
Pokemon
Mount
Cardinal, what would
Norclo,
the other version
Abandoned
be?
Manor,
Maple?
and the Isle of Victory, respectively. If you go to those locations and look around very carefully, you may just be able to find
This
them.
doesn't really matter.
This will be a monumental discovery if you were able to pull it off.
What were the covers?
Reed and
What-
Wendy, I know you'll be able to do it. I'm counting
Probably
on
the
you.
starters again, like I was in Gen 1. Remember when Pokemon games weren't just the legendary?
Alright, looks like we're on the hunt for some legendary Pokemon. While we can track down the members of the Life Trio in any order, we're going to start with the one we most recently saw in the Isle of Victory. Now, the way these Pokemon work, or would work if this were an actual game, is that they are confined to the area that they are located
Oh,
in,
thank God, no
however they are
roaming.
also roaming legendaries
Damn
at
it!
the same time. This means that they can
Well,
be
they can only
found
roam into their
anywhere
own
within their
area.
respective areas, and you've just got to look around
So
and
it's
encounter
so it's
wild
basically
Pokemon
a
until
usual
you find them.
Pokemon in that
If
case,
you
you
stick
know?
to it, though, I think they'll start
Oh
to
god,
pop
imagine
up
if you can't get
before
that
too
post.
long.
If you can't get that through post game, it's probably the case. But it's also could be like, given the fact that we've seen them, imagine if you could get that during your own playthrough. I need you to collect all of the. I need you to collect all these mythical Pokemon. Good, I've had them in my party for like 3 episodes now. Where have you been?
Oh boy, it looks like we found one. This is Burnham, the beginning of life Pokemon.
Fairy Aura.
Burnham is said to encapsulate the force that brings new life into the world. While not much is known about it, people have been able to associate this Pokemon with the fruitfulness of new life, and whenever people or Pokemon are expecting to bring a child into the world, they send prayers to this Pokemon that their child will be able to be born safely. Despite
Well,
this
born
Pokemon's
safety
size,
is
it
one
is
thing.
also
Being
very
sick-
powerful.
being a good person
so
is
it
another.
might take you a few hits and a few Ultra Balls, but
Give me
I'm
the bad
sure
guy in
you'll
this
be
game.
able to catch it. Which means we only have 2 Life Tree
Honestly,
members to go.
honestly, catching
Let's go
legendaries
see
for me
if
can
we
sometimes be
find the
easier
next
than
one.
catching some actual like pseudo legendaries. It took me so long to catch a Beldum in Sun. It was fucking annoying. And I know you can get like a Metang in the, you know, the Pokepelago, but that thing spawning is RNG.
Here we are at Mount Norclo. This is where we saw the first of what we would later find out is a member of the Life Trio.
And then it's
the
staying in the
process
thing
is going
is
to be the
RNG.
same as before. We know it's around here somewhere, and if we keep searching and encountering Pokemon long enough, I know we'll find it.
It's gotta be around here somewhere.
Look, here it is. This is Primree,
This is
the
the one I
Prime
remember
of
the
Life
best.
Pokemon. Primary
Just 'cause
is
I think it's the
always on
cover
top
of one of
its
the
game,
episodes,
as
so
it embodies the vigor that comes
fits.
with being at
And
the
it's
front
scrappy,
of
so it
life.
can hit ghosts.
This Pokemon is thought to be able to imbue others with that same level of vigor and make those who are older feel young again. That has made this Pokemon extremely sought after, but no one has been able to track it down until now.
I just realized
Just
she looks
like with Burnham,
like a
Primary
champion's
is
cup. Like her
tough and isn't
arms
going to let
are
you
like the
catch it
things you
without
grab
fight.
on a trophy.
But as the champion of
really
Norclo,
well
I'm
thought out.
sure you'll get it caught before too long.
And the fact that I only
And
realized
with
that now is one of those
we
things where I'm
only
like, how
have
did I not
one
notice that
more to find.
before?
Let's head to the abandoned manor and track it down. By this time, I'm sure you all know the drill. If we search the manor long enough, we're bound to find this Pokemon.
But this means we can get
So
a
let's
dusk
get to
ball
it
on
and
this
track
thing.
it down already.
Because it's dark. Unfortunately, that only works in caves and if it's nighttime. But I'd probably throw a dusk ball just to see if it did have a higher chance, you know. Save your Ultra Balls. And don't forget to use a quick ball at the beginning, because you never know. It never works, but there could be that one time.
And wouldn't you know it, here it is. This is Finrit, the end-of-life Pokemon. This Pokemon isn't as sought after by the locals because it seems to
why
only bring
would they?
one thing with it.
Death.
Whenever this Pokemon
Why
has
would
been
you
sighted,
want that?
a death has always followed shortly after.
Unless you were
it is
going to use it as a
believed
weapon
that
or
this
something.
Pokemon knows
Look out or
when
I'll kill
others
you
are
to
going
death.
die. While it might be a master of death, we can still give it a couple hits, and between that and a few
We're going to
Ultra
catch
Balls,
death.
we should be able to catch it no
Careful,
problem.
when it breaks free, you automatically die.
Wow, I cannot believe it. We actually caught all 3 members of the Life Trio. We better
It took
take them
for
back
fucking
to Professor
ever.
Tamarack right away and see if he can give us any more information on what to do next.
And it struggled itself to death so many fucking times, though. That doesn't happen to me too many times.
Reed, Wendy!
It's probably
How's
happened, like,
catching
once or
those
twice,
legendary Pokemon? Oh, what? You've caught all 3 already? Oh, goodness me. I knew you 2 were good. I knew you were the champion of Norclo, but boy, oh boy, did I not ever expect this.
It's like you're the protagonists or something. A
Let me just
protagonist, if
contain
you will.
myself for a second. Then I can tell you what to do next.
Burn them!
Okay, I'm good. I'm under control. Now that you have found all 3 members of the Life Trio, the next step is to see if we can coax out Morvator. Based on the evidence I've gathered, Morvator seems to appear most
Morvator sounds
often
like the
on
final
Nameless
form
Island,
of that
which
frickin',
sits in the middle of Wailord Bay, and it never got around to being
one of
named,
the,
apparently. If you head past the power plant
one
through
of the,
Route 18
fossil
and to
Pokemon.
Artavi Town, there is a small ferry that can take you to the island. Just hand them this, and you'll be good to go.
It even looks more like it would in a game, like a Gen 3 or something like that. Probably using like the
This
SS
could be
Antic
the
or something.
discovery of a generation. So head out, you 2. We have a new Pokemon to
You
discover.
could just use tickets from real life. Whatever. Then again, I guess if they did use tickets for real life, people would be like, my immersion's ruined.
Although we could just fly straight to Artavi Town since we've been there before, we might as well take Professor Tamarack's advice and head up through Route 18
Oh, fuck
since we
that,
have
I
yet
fly.
to travel through this route before. This is another route that you have to become champion to be able to access.
Okay, if I
but
have to be
once you
champion
do,
there,
you'll
then
find
maybe
a
I'd
plethora
take
of
the
powerful
look.
Pokemon
Maybe.
here, including Volnetic, Balboa, Serapint, Tormitense, Ursumbra, Condibore, and Fearonix, along with Terrectrifly and Resemdra. If you're the type of person who likes to turn over every rock they come across, you'll also be able to find Yanmegaite, which will allow you to evolve any Yanmega you have into Mega Yanmega. Mega Yanmega finally becomes part Dragon type at this stage in addition to Bud, and is extremely ferocious and powerful. Come to think of it, this might just come in handy
looks like a
depending
Mega
on how
Evolution,
strong
so it
this
can't really
mythical
evolve it
Pokemon
further.
we're looking for really is.
You know, people say a lot about how
Dragonite,
they're glad Dragonite didn't get a
the
Mega,
ferry
so we
to
wouldn't
the
never got the
Nameless
Dragonite-ite. There are also people who wish we got the Dragonite-ite, but that's beside the point. But Mega Yanmega is just up there would be like, yeah, that sounds stupid too. It would make me glad that I call Pokemon by their Mega Stones when they Mega Evolve, so it could at least be Yon Megite, and I could give it some dignity.
We have
back.
now arrived at the Nameless Island. While you will find a few small cabins...
What was named the Nameless Island is not very nameless now, is it?
The real reason we are here is obviously to see if we can find the mythical Pokemon Morvitor. Outside of the few houses that are built here, there is a lot of grassy and forested area on the island. So we might as well just start looking around and see if we can find anything interesting. Oh, and we need to make sure that we have all 3 members of the Life Trio in our party, as according to Professor Tamarack, that is the key to getting this Pokemon to appear.
Then we have to deconstruct Braille. That will never not be the most infamous part of Gen 3. There's a lot of infamous parts of Gen 3, but let's face it, that one takes the cake. Then the too much water. Hello. Oh. Ooh. It was kind of cool.
Oh my gosh. Professor Tamarack was right! Morvitor does exist, and it's connected to the Life Trio after all.
He looks like that...
Morvitor is known as the Afterlife Pokemon. As the master of the Life Trio, this Pokemon has dominion over the afterlife. This Pokemon's existence was first caught onto by humans after people who had had near-death experiences claimed to have seen this Pokemon in their mind while their life was still in the balance. This is going to be the strongest Pokemon you have faced, wild or not, in Pokemon Cardinal to this point. So you better have come
reminds
prepared.
me of one of the ghost types we
have
caught on the
Life
way
Trio
here.
The
one
you
that
can
looked
use
like
their
a
strength to your
moose.
advantage. But if you intend to catch this
It didn't
Pokemon,
evolve.
prepare for a long
It's a
fight.
shame because I would have used
You're
it.
going to want to stack up on Pokeballs, as Morvitor's catch rate is extremely low.
If that's the case, you're going to want to stack up on
though,
Ultra
you might
Balls.
just be able to catch it.
You're only going to get Pokeballs if you're desperate.
Nice work, kid.
Hmm?
I came here when I heard you were attempting to catch Morvitor in the Life Trio.
I really
First,
wanted to say
to
I came when
apologize
I
for
heard you
running
caught
off so
a
abruptly after
Morvitor.
we
What?
defeated Team
It's
Tundra.
Professor
Once I knew
Oak.
they'd been stopped, I felt it was best for me to leave as quickly
phrasing.
as possible, but realized I didn't get a chance to properly thank you. So thank you for saving this region.
No problem.
I can't even begin to tell you the kind of disaster that's been averted by stopping Team Tundra.
You can try.
Or rather, I guess I can, now. Before I tell you that, though, I think it's finally time that I tell you who I really am and why I'm here.
Gary Oak! No. Quite the twist. Oh, hello.
Do you recognize me? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. I'm pretty old now.
A
I'm
rival.
your rival, Crim. The same one you just defeated in order to stop Team Tundra.
Time
Just from a
travel?
different time.
Yep.
I'm from an alternate future where Team Tundra
Once
actually
I
succeeded
once
in
I
freezing all of
recognize the
Norclo.
white hair, I think I
Thanks
could
in
go one
part
of
to
two
me.
ways.
Just as you
One,
experienced,
it's
I was
his
so
father.
angry that you kept
Two,
defeating me that I joined Team Tundra in
it's
order
time
to become
travel.
stronger.
And with this
Except
being
in my
Pokemon and
reality,
no one,
there's
almost
nothing
no
to
one
stop
having
us at that point.
fathers, almost no
We
one,
defeated you, and Cronus set off
it
the
seemed more
amplification
likely
machine,
that-
which began freezing all of Norclo unceasingly.
it seemed more likely that it was time travel.
Cardivios awakened just as it did in this reality to try and stop us, but it was past the point of no return. With our combined might, we were able to subdue Cardivios, leaving Norclo to our mercy as everything was frozen solid. It was only when the job was done, however, that I realized what a grave mistake I had made in being part of this. Norclo had become a wasteland. Nearly all Pokemon, human, and even plant life had been eradicated, and I
So
immediately
that's why he
knew I
gave
was
us the
wrong.
Mega Stone and gave us the unfair
At
advantage.
that point, I began searching, begging and pleading that there could be some way to reverse all of this.
It knew
When I
it would be
remembered
unfair to
something I had learned
himself,
around this
but-
time period. There is a legend that states if all 3 members of the Life Trio are brought together, they are able to give the person that brings them together the ability to revisit any other point in their life that they choose.
I
This was
see.
long thought to be just a folktale,
But this is an RPG, so there are no folk tales. They're all facts.
It took me years and was made exponentially more difficult by the frozen apocalypse.
They're just facts that people choose not to believe
Eventually,
in,
I
like
caught
global
them
warming
all,
and
used
gravity.
their power to transport me here, right at the time that I was set to join Team
I'm kidding on the
Tundra.
gravity one. I
Somewhere
hope.
along the line,
I hope there
though,
aren't.
realized
I know
that
there are
both
flat
you
earthers,
and
so I really
would
hope
need
there
to
aren't
be
people who
even
think
more
gravity
powerful
doesn't
if we were
exist.
going to stop Team Tundra and my past self. Which is why, before leaving, I also sought out the power of Mega Evolution. I knew it existed in Norclo thanks to Professor Tamarack giving us the Mega Stones for our starter Pokemon. But in that reality, none of us had a Keystone. Fortunately, however, the Keystones came to me when I ran into an impossibly tall man who said he had traveled to Norclo to witness the devastation for himself. I told him what I planned to do, and he was able to gift me 2 Keystones.
Possibly tall.
One for myself,
That's
and one for you.
AZ
Why I gave it to
from
you that day at
Gen
the
6,
research
probably.
lab. I knew you were going to need it if we stood any chance at saving the region.
The guy
what I
in
did
his,
not expect, however, was
Bay
your
Baby,
access to
I
Mega
think?
Evolution throwing my past self into a fit of rage that caused him to join Team Tundra anyway. Luckily, however, we were able to stop him and save Norclo once and for all. Which brings me to my next point. Now that the region is saved, you have moved on to catching all 3 members of the Life Trio. While this is a commendable accomplishment, it creates a bit of a problem for me. You see, if you have all 3 members of this trio in your possession, that eliminates the ability of my past self to catch them, which in turn eliminates the possibility of me existing at all.
Oh crap. Couldn't we just give
Probably
you them?
best that I fade into nothingness now, considering my mission is complete. And honestly, I don't have much time left as it is. But deep down, I'm still the same Crim you know and love, and I couldn't let that
Love
happen
putting up
without
with.
a fight. So Reed, Wendy, I'm here to battle you one last time, and try and stop you if I may. If I win, you hand the Life Trio over to me, and I'll get to stick around a while longer. But if I lose, you keep them, and I'll fade out of existence. With my task officially
So
complete,
either way he wins.
what do
in
you
a
say?
sense. I don't want you to leave.
I knew you'd never turn down a challenge from me. Looks like it's time to battle for one last time.
So it tells me this
for
would
all
be
the
an
marbles.
unlosable battle. Even though I want him to win. And he's got 6
Time for
Pokemon.
the fight of my life. Literally. Go, Tormentence!
Got out the fire flying.
Ha! Still as strong as ever, I
He has
see.
the type advantage.
Go, Burnham!
Oh crud! He's got the trio too.
You didn't think I'd fade away that easily, did you?
Because we both have the creation trio. We're having a time paradox. They kill each other, ironically.
You're really going for it, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Go, Heliovin! Ha! If you haven't noticed, I'm really going for it too.
Noticed.
Half of my Pokemon
Nice.
down.
He made up for the
This is the
leap
moment of
for
truth.
constantly
Go,
getting stomped.
Crimry!
Oh great. Fighting types with this type advantage.
I'm not giving up that easy. Like I said, I'm still the Crim you know and love. Nice response, kid. Allow me to respond back. Go, Finrit!
Sitting out Dev already. And so ours was able to win.
That's what I'm talking
Unfortunately,
about.
death was
I haven't been in a
stronger
battle
than
this
life,
exhilarating in ages.
And now the deaths kill each other.
This is it. Down to my last Pokemon. And I think you know him well. Go, Starter! Would you look at that? Each down to our last Pokemon.
Starter
Whatever
versus
happens
starter.
next, I'm glad to have met and know you, and I hope you can think of me as a friend.
Both Mega Evolve.
Looks like my time is up.
He probably would have preferred to fade into nothingness than go back to that reality where the world is screwed anyway.
Reed, Wendy,
Even though we think about it, he
please
could have just
don't
gone to a
feel
different
bad about
region.
beating me. It was bound to happen one way or another. I mostly just wanted to get one more.
What do you mean I
battle
could just
in
gone
for the
to
fun.
Alola?
With your help, I succeeded in accomplishing what I came here to do. And now it's time for me to move on, and for you to enjoy the fruits of that labor. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused, and I hope, in your mind, I've made it right. I'll see ya, and thank you for everything.
Thank you, Crow, for all you've sacrificed. And that's where we roll the credits. Fitting place to end, given it's a callback to the ending of Gen 2 in a sense. With being Red of the Mountain, roll credits. Again. And that's the end of the game. Well, thing. There's still episode 0, and we're going to go through episode 0, of course, but... of course, you know, I'm going to go... It's not over, but as for the series itself, it's technically over. You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And don't worry, I'm going to go over my starters for the credits. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to add it to this video or put it on as its own separate video. I honestly don't know. Depends how long I take, I guess. Either way, this was an enjoyable series, and I'm glad I checked it out. And it was suggested to be in the first place, you know? I have checked it out, and there are more fan regions that I'm going to check out in the future, like, what if England was a Pokemon League, or what if Ireland was a Pokemon thing? I have had those requests for a while, and they've built up, and I haven't done anything with them because they're over an hour long. I don't have a lot of time. Wait, Matt for you? Oh, Miss for you. I'll be like, he's both, but why is he in quotations for one? That makes more sense. But Mystic Umbreon was Jet. Nice. Nice that you got so much help throughout this, and so many people willing to lend their voices. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to check out, and it's clearly well made by a fan who knows his way about Pokemon, stuff like that, and showing ways you can evolve, and stuff like that. Showing ways you can evolve. Shows starter evolving. Oops. That was unintentional. Or maybe it was subtly influenced by that, but yeah. I'm glad I checked out this series, and I'm going to check out more Pokemon fan stuff in the future. Plus, we've got S-Code Knight's own Pokemon region to go through, so it's not like we're lacking in fan-made regions. But there's still one episode left of Cardinal. Another adventure awaits in the past. The next episode will be episode 0.